Most businesses have a website, but here's the thing. Is it just a digital brochure kind of sitting there in a quiet corner of the internet? Or is it your hardest working employee? In this explainer, we're going to dive into how you can transform a passive website into an active, lead-generating, trust-building asset that works for you literally around the clock. Okay, let's kick things off with a really important question. I want you to think about your own website right now. Does it actually bring in new business? Does it qualify leads and build up your brand? Or is it just, well, another line item on your expense report at the end of the month? The difference between those two things is strategy, and that's exactly what we're going to break down. So where do things usually go wrong? Well, the biggest problem we see is that so many businesses treat their website like a digital business card. It's got a name, a phone number, maybe a list of services, and that's about it. It's totally passive. It just sits there and waits to be found. And in today's super crowded digital world, waiting is basically a recipe for being invisible. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Hey, I've got a Facebook page. Isn't that enough? Well, there's a huge, huge difference. A social media page is like rented space. You're playing by their rules, you're at the mercy of their algorithm, and it's their branding, not yours. A professional website, though, that's your own asset. You have total control. You build real credibility. And you're not going to wake up one morning to find out the platform changed its rules and your business is at risk. And this leads to a pretty powerful idea, the digital ghost. A website can look absolutely fantastic, but if it has no traffic, no one's engaging with it, and there's no way for customers to find it, it might as well not even exist. It's there, but nobody can see it. And that is a massive pain point for so many businesses out there. So how do we fix this? How do we exorcise this digital ghost? Well, the answer starts way before we ever talk about things like colors or fonts. It starts with strategy. A truly successful website isn't built on the latest design trends. It's built on a deep, solid understanding of your business goals and what your customers actually need. And this is something we hear all the time. A client will come to us and say this. And it makes perfect sense, right? Most business owners aren't web designers, and that's totally okay. The whole process can feel really overwhelming if you think you need to have all the technical answers right from the start. And our response is always the same. We say, no problem at all. The first conversation should never be about code or plugins. It should be about your business. Who do you serve? What problem are you solving for them? What makes you different? This is the foundation that everything else gets built on. It's a conversation, not a technical exam. So how does this all come together in a clear plan? Well, the journey from just an idea to a live website shouldn't be a big mystery. It's a collaborative, step-by-step process. We start with that initial discussion, then a transparent offer, we fine-tune the details together, get a clear agreement, and then the building starts. You'll get to see it and give feedback before we finalize everything and launch it. You're part of the process every step of the way. No black boxes, no surprises. Okay, now for the really exciting part. Once that solid foundation is in place, we build the engine. This is what turns a static, boring site into an active sales tool. I'm talking about interactive tools that give your visitors immediate value and, in return, generate highly qualified leads for your business. And the impact of this is, well, it's huge. Get this, adding interactive tools, like a simple price calculator, can boost your organic traffic from Google by up to 30%. And why is that? It's because you're answering a visitor's most important question right away: how much is this going to cost me? And Google absolutely loves rewarding websites that provide useful, helpful answers. Let's make this real. Imagine you're a custom furniture maker. Instead of just showing pretty pictures, your website has a calculator. A potential customer can go on, select the dimensions, the type of wood, the finish they want, and boom, get an instant price estimate. The customer gets their answer, and you get a lead from a serious buyer who already knows the ballpark price. Or, hey, let's say you're a service business, maybe a financial consultant. Your website could have a short interactive quiz that helps people assess their own financial health. At the end, it gives them a personalized tip and suggests a consultation. It's super engaging, it's helpful, and it perfectly qualifies that lead before they even contact you. And this same idea works in just about every industry you can think of. A psychologist, for example, could offer a free personality or anxiety test on their site. This doesn't just attract people who are actively searching for these topics, it also builds immediate trust and positions that psychologist as an expert they can turn to for help. So to wrap this section up, these interactive tools do way more than just look cool. They attract the right kind of visitors. They keep people on your site longer, which is a huge signal to Google. They automate your lead collection process, and they build trust by giving value away for free right up front. Look, you can have the best website in the world with the most amazing tools, but if no one can find it, what's the point? It's all for nothing. This brings us to the magnet, visibility. How do we make sure your ideal customers can actually find you in this massive sea of competitors? The data tells a very, very clear story here. More than half, 53%, of all website traffic comes from organic search. That means people going to Google and typing in a problem that they need solved. And social media, for all the noise it makes, it accounts for just 5%. That's why having a rock-solid search strategy is completely non-negotiable. Now, here's a little dose of reality. 82% of people never ever click past the first page of Google search results. Let that sink in. If you are not on page 1, you are basically invisible to the vast majority of your potential customers. The stakes are incredibly high. So, how in the world do you get there? Your toolkit really has 2 main instruments. First is SEO, or search engine optimization. That's the long-term strategy of building your site so it ranks naturally. The other is Google Ads, which is the short-term strategy of paying to show up at the top for specific searches. A really smart approach uses a combination of both. All right, theory is great, but proof is always better. Let's take a quick look at a few examples of how all these principles come together to create websites that deliver real, tangible results, even in some really complex and serious industries. First up, a highly complex medical project. Now, this is not just some brochure website. It's a full-blown platform where oncology patients can securely upload their medical documents, pay for a consultation, and get a second opinion that's actually powered by AI analysis. This just shows the ability to handle super sensitive data and build immense trust in a really high-stakes field. Next, let's jump over to the world of finance. For this consultant, the website's #1 job is to build trust instantly, through a really clean, professional design, clear explanations of their services, and those interactive tools we talked about, like a financial health questionnaire. The site goes from being a simple ad to a credible, valuable resource. And one more, this time in education. This technical college had an old, really confusing website. The redesign focused entirely on the user's journey, for prospective students and for their parents. It created clear pathways to information, and, brilliantly, they integrated aptitude tests to help students figure out the right career path for them. So when you combine all of this, a solid strategy, those engaging interactive tools, and a powerful plan for visibility, your website stops being that passive brochure we talked about. It truly becomes what we said at the very beginning, your most dedicated, most tireless employee. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. When you're asleep, is your website also sleeping? Or is it busy answering questions, calculating quotes for new leads, attracting new visitors from Google, and building trust with your future customers? What is your website doing for your business at 3 o'clock in the morning?